Good morning. Sorry for the delay. My name is Ryan Masfeller. I'm one of the field IT support staff here at Realogy. Most of you know me. Just want to say good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining us. We've got a great show planned for you today. Some of our topics are I can't print, email signatures. We're going to get into doing. Help me out, guys. What else do we have?
Well, talk a little bit about the NRT
Little
gateway.
NRT gateway. So there's, setting up email on an iPhone. We've got a lot in store. So we've got about a 2-hour show with about an hour at the end for your phone calls and questions and comments. We're going to be taking them through the web interface on the right-hand side of the video. I think I'm pointing the right way, right here. And through the Twitter, you can send us an email, you can call us, or you can text us. There's multiple options, and they'll be scrolling across the bottom of the screen. But right now, I want to bring up our IT manager, Jesus Ruiz, and to give a little welcome and introduction. Here is Jesus. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much, Jesus. And first up, we're going to have John Horseman here with. And John, let me pull you into the shot. Let's go do up. There we go. There's both of us. How's it going?
Great.
Good morning.
Great. Good morning, everybody. I'm John Horseman in the marketing department. Just wanted to touch base with you guys on a few things. We wanted to talk about a little bit about the most important thing for you and for your agents is the NRT gateway. That is going to be your primary source to get all of the information that you need to be not only as a successful employee, but also a successful agent. So I encourage everyone to go ahead and try to jump into their NRT gateway. We have several items in there. Many of you always already know that we already have many of the resources in there, like your CB In Touch, CB Agent Info, Home Base Insight, and CB Works. But this is ultimately going to be the source of where you're going to get all of your information to help you be successful. We've also put up onto CB Agent Info. We had placed up on there. Basically, if you go to CB Agent Info and you type in the word help, there is actually a page in there that gives you all the support services that can help you as an OA direct the information to the appropriate people. This will help you expedite the process, eliminate the time of searching and finding the right person or contact person to get in touch with in order to get these things taken care of. So again, I encourage you to go to NRT Gateway. Once you log in there, click on the tile that's called CB Agent Info, and then type in the word help. And you'll see there's a sheet that will come up that's called Support Services or Help Support Services. And inside there, though, again, it will actually have all the names and numbers and contacts and information that will help you expedite your process of finding the solutions to the things that you need to be successful.
We didn't have your we didn't have your computer there. Let me pull it up. That's okay. Let me pull it up on here. I want to show them. And you said what's the fastest way to find that document?
I would say go to the NRT Gateway. Go to CB Agent Info.
How do I log into the NRT Gateway?
Well, for a lot of the agents and employees, actually it's www.their
Their email
Yeah,
address, right?
email
Yeah,
address,
yeah.
right, and then the
Typically,
password.
and if you don't know it, it's real easy to fix, right? You just hit there's a forgot my password
That's
link at the
correct.
bottom.
And they'll be
They can reset
emailed.
their
They
password.
can go into their
Yeah.
Colorado
So
Homes
okay.
email account. And
Yeah. Well, let's get. I want to pull up. Let me pull up the. I want to pull up that doc real fast.
Okay.
I apologize, guys. We had this all planned out, and you know what happens with technology sometimes, right? The best laid plans of mice and men. We have John and Jesus worked really hard putting together a really nice document that kind of it's basically a guide of like who do I call to help me with what X, right?
Right.
It's all spelled out there. Let me pull this up on my side here so you guys can see it.
And I can give you a little bit of overview.
Right.
It starts off basically with the NRT gateway. Some of the tiles, let's say you can't access something or you had questions about more details about each one of those tiles within the NRT gateway that has the phone numbers for the people to contact, the appropriate people. Then it also includes licensing and support. And these circumstances for licensing for our agents, they would need to see their office OA, and they will direct them in the right direction in order to get them taken care of. It also includes IT information,
Right.
And their help desk, people to contact in order to get support. It also includes administrative resources, which will typically go to like Kimberly Dolan or David Fairbrother with the CB2Go. Also, education and training support services. These will be your primary contacts, like Jason Kingery and David Walsh. And for like CE classes, that would be Guardian Title with Lori Gerlitz. The previews questions and problems and issues and things that you need to have taken care of for your previews, how to get certified, you contact Jill Crotto in regards to that. Then inside of with marketing, one of the most powerful programs we have is the Listing Awards, which is with Tina Hallberg. She is the master behind the whole Listing Awards program. Press releases, it'll point you in the right direction, like Margaret Jackson, Gina for dealing with our blogs and our marketing aspect. Coldwell Banker Homes, you can feel free to contact me. I'm here for you. And the Fab Plus also. Any other issues with Fab Plus? One of the things about the great thing about Fab Plus is that these agents now have the ability to pay one-time fee that's actually tied up in their AVP program, where they get the most powerful syndication that I've ever seen on the planet. And I'm just reflecting on that because the thing is that I've seen agents go out on their own and purchase their own type of branding for these sites. It's Realtor.com, Trillion, so on and so forth. They're spending thousands of dollars, and Chris and company have been able to pull together by consolidating nationwide all of the companies to come together to come up with a program where it's cost effective for our agents. And when that syndication to out all the different websites is a lot cheaper than going out there individually. The other flip side to it is that Chris also put together tying that Fab Plus without the agents being burdened with having to pay it annually, tied it into their AVP, which the value in itself more than far exceeds the cost of their AVP for the year.
Wow.
So just wonderful things that we're doing here.
Yeah.
It's just incredible.
Right. And then all your relocation contacts.
And relocation contacts. So, well, you're in the relocation, you're trying to figure out who to contact. Well, here are the phone numbers. They'll help you out to get to the right person quickly without having to ask a lot of questions and come around. So,
right. Okay. So then, to get to this document, go to...
You would go through the NRT Gateway, CB Agent Info.
Correct.
And just type in the word in the search area, help.
Help. How do you spell help? No, I'm kidding.
H-E-L.
No, that's good. I think this is great. And, a lot of times people are confused that, like, they know they need help. They just don't know who to call or what their number is or who to contact. I mean, if you've been with the company a long time, you might have these people in your phone. But here's a nice little virtual Rolodex, if you will, of all the core support services. And it looks great, too, by the way. So kudos on that.
Kudos to you guys. No, this is a team effort.
I think that's really really good. And we'll also post a link to this in the chat box, so you guys can go and grab a copy of it. And we'll also put a link to it underneath the video for future use if you're watching this recorded later. If you're watching this playback, you'll be able to hit the link down below for this document. What else could we?
Well, another part of CB Agent Info is quite a few of our fellow employees and some of the agents were used to the old CB Agent Info, and that format has changed. And what I suggest is that you click on the classic view. That is basically showing you the kind of the legacy version of our CB Agent Info, and you can click on those tiles, and they'll redirect you just to the same spots that you were within CB Agent Info. But I wanted to let you know that CB Agent Info is growing, it's getting better, it's exciting to see how organically this thing is improving on a daily basis. The searches are becoming easier, it's becoming more fluid. I believe that we're going to be making better designs to it and make it a lot more robust for agents and employees alike.
Great.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Well, yeah, I think that we should talk a little bit about, Colorado Homes becoming ColdwellBankerHomes.com. I think,
Do you know when the timing of that is?
Well, Coldwell Banker Homes is active now.
Okay.
So what is happening is that every day.
So all their listings are on the new site. And,
that is correct.
There's anything for the agents have to do to change their profile?
Well, one of the things that I was going to say for agents, if you get into a situation where you're like, I'm not happy with the way the listing is on the MLS that you posted up on there, I suggest that you go into the NRT Gateway, you go to the Coldwell Banker Homes admin button, click on that, and you can go in there and modify your listing so that when it broadcasts out, it would syndicate to all the sites for you. You don't have to go into Truly or Zillow, Realtor.com.
Oh, wow.
Do it.
So you put the photos up one place,
and the text
everywhere.
and the remarks in there in one spot, and it syndicates for
the way
you.
It just works, right?
It works, and that's the beautiful part about it is that this site is becoming more and more powerful every day too. At first, when you start off, you're going to have some hurdles and stuff like that. But the thing is that we have it on a national level. And on a national level, we're seeing that we have contributions from different metros that are contributing to this. So what is happening, what the benefit for the agents is that not only are they just part of Colorado Homes, now they're part of Coldwell Banker on a national level. So they're getting the exposure. They're getting the kind of report back and forth from, let's say somebody in California wants to look at a home in Colorado. Well, you know what? They can easily do that. Or if they're in Florida, or better yet, if they're looking to move from Colorado to somewhere else, they can look. They can look on there. But
so it's a one-stop shop.
It really is. And the thing is that the organic part of the search engine. What is great about it is that everybody's contributing nationally. So every person in the whole country is contributing to the growth of this site, and as a result, it's going to increase the leverage of every agent within our company, so that when you Google their name, you look their name up, they're shooting through the ranks. It's incredible. So they're going to be up at the top tier. So what I encourage every agent to do is to go in and modify their profile and get it set up correctly the way they want it.
It's their time to shine, right? That's
exactly right.
Their yellow pages listing, if you will, right?
Right.
So you want it to look top notch. You want it to have all the most recent, current, up to date information.
That's exactly
no high school photos, right? Rick Mackley can take care of that.
Right. There you go. Yeah.
So.
And another part is, I think a lot of agents need to think about is their CB in touch.
Right.
And to take a look at that, because
I feel like it's underutilized. I don't see a lot of people.
I really feel like
using it to its full potential.
And I think that there is opportunity. We will be having classes in the next month and so, and showing more about the CB in Touch program. We did it before, but I think as we move towards this, the power of the CB in Touch is the whole lead router program that's built in there, the market leader system, where it comes back to the agents. So what happens is that they get instant notifications. This system is built to be the most efficient, fast, responsive system on the planet. And I think what's happening is that I think that the agents shouldn't spend their money going out and paying thousands of dollars for somebody to build their website for them. They should save their money, utilize the system that's, once again, this is a consolidated effort nationally to pull everybody together, the resources to make it cost effective
Sure.
for them to build up their own personal website so that it syndicates everywhere. It is just phenomenal what they can do with this. I mean,
That's awesome.
it's robust,
Mhm.
it's easy to use.
Mhm.
So once again, I encourage every agent to jump in there and use the CB in Touch program and get in there, get into that NRT gateway. That is where you get it.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Well, thanks, John. I would just poll the guys in the room here. Do we have any questions for John from the webcast audience or nothing? No. To cue the crickets noise. Anybody got the sound? Nobody loves you like that, I guess.
Right. I
Well,
talk too fast
how
now.
would they get a hold of you if they need
Well,
to get
yeah,
a hold of you?
you guys can get a hold of me by my email, which is john.horseman, HORSMAN, at coloradohomes.com, or you can give me a call at 303-409-6477.
Awesome.
But yeah, there's so many wonderful things, and there are new things coming down the road too. Where, that's the beautiful thing about here in Colorado, and the things that we do is I work with such a progressive team that creates and fosters an environment and culture where we're doing cutting edge things. It's phenomenal. We're
Right.
scaling things up. We're making things happen.
Right.
Again, I encourage everybody to work with us closely on marketing and let us know what they think and what they feel and what they think is going to be most effective for them. Because ultimately, we're working to make you better, and that's what we're all about. So
cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, John.
Yeah,
I appreciate
thank
you
you,
coming on.
Yeah, thank you for
appreciate the
having me.
time. And there is a
Okay.
question for John. Go ahead. What do we got?
We use in-touch sites in the broker section of Colorado Homes and lifestyles. Be represented the way you want to be by setting this up. I think that's more of a statement.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. So someone was just commenting on the web that they were using CB In Touch broker section, and they want people to know that you represent yourself. Set it up the way you want it to look. Put your photos in there, your information. Don't let the system do it for you, right?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
And I feel like, initially it's designed to get you up and going. The thing is ultimately you're responsible for your own branding. You are the one that's projecting out there. Take advantage of it. Grab a hold of it and make it yours.
Right.
Claim it, own it.
Right. Awesome. All right, cool.
Great.
Well, thanks so much.
Great, thank you for having me.
So next up, we're going to bring
Somebody doesn't know what CB in touch is.
we're going to bring who's coming up next? Paul, you want to do the? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, come on over, Paul. Just give us a hot second here. We're just changing out cast and crew. Again, I want to thank you guys for joining us. This is a work in progress, so it's our first time doing it. If there's challenges, I apologize in advance, but hopefully everything will go smoothly here. Here comes Paul. Let's get you up together here. Oh. Yeah, let me see if I can fix this real fast. So, welcome, Paul. Good to see you, buddy.
Morning, Ryan.
Yeah. What offices do you cover?
I cover Southeast Metro,
Right.
Highlands Ranch,
Right.
Evergreen, Conifer, and Guardian and Greenwood Village.
Oh, nice. Nice. What's your favorite? No, I'm kidding.
What's my favorite? Or
I'll put you. You're in the hot seat. I got to make you feel like it, right?
love them all equally.
Yeah. Yeah. What a true politician.
Different offices have different benefits.
I got you. Well, there we go. Get you clipped out a little bit better. Cool. So
Clip the
yeah,
glare
yeah.
off.
I can't. I did the magic. This is limited to only so much, buddy. So you're going to talk about what today?
Well, basically, we are going to take the easy route today, and we are going to go through the process of setting up your Colorado Homes email account if you own an iPhone.
Oh, okay, cool. So, tell me how easy is it to do? Is it? It probably takes a long time, right?
You know what? Of recent,
Uh-huh.
it takes about 45 to 60 seconds,
Get outta here.
depending on how well you
Really?
type or fat finger your iPhone keypad.
Now that's pretty cool because otherwise, usually, what I mean, most people have to open a ticket, wait for us to show up. It's a pain in the butt, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But of course, it's job security for us.
Hey, what are you gonna do? It's so let's run through the process there. Let me flip you back around. I just wanted to bring us up a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna bring we're going to bring on his machine, and let's go to, here it is right here, and look at how cool this is through the magic of television. Well, not really, but you get the idea.
Slide
So,
us over a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah. Let me. I'll fix that. So, show us how you would set up your Zimbra mail on a Mac. Now, on your iPhone. Now, tell me, is there anything I should know before I set this up?
You should know your Colorado Homes password for
Okay.
your email,
Okay.
which is the same as logging into a resource computer,
Okay.
as well as running your printer script.
Okay.
And those three passwords,
Right.
those three systems use the same password.
I gotcha.
So make sure you are aware of your coloradohomes.com email account,
Right.
username and password.
I gotcha.
For the most part, it's your first name dot your last name at coloradohomes.com.
Right.
And if you need to test it out prior, you could
If
always.
they don't know, they just go ask their OA, right?
Exactly.
No, you could always call in a ticket, and they don't even need a ticket. They'll just reset it over the phone,
Pretty
right?
much.
877 NRT help.
That's correct. Or 678-4357.
There you go. Wow, look at you go.
We're going to come up with a jingle.
Right. There we go. So the let me fix this down. And so show us. So we're on an iPhone. Does it matter what version of iPhone it's running or any
That's
of that
the nice
stuff?
thing about the iPhone,
Uh-huh.
whether you're probably on OS 8 or 9 by now.
Okay.
It's pretty much identical across the board.
Okay. Oops. Sorry.
So for those of you who would love to set this up and don't currently have email on your iPhone, also keep in mind when you set up Colorado Homes email on your iPhone or Android for that matter, you will be required for security purposes to program your phone, if not already, with an 8-digit pass lock code.
That's good to know because
Yes.
I think most people would be surprised to find that out later, right?
Right. Now, most people are okay with that. We've had some pushback on that code, but
Well, I like having a code on my phone. What about you? I mean,
it keeps the kids off.
well, not so much that. I mean, I'll tell you a quick story, personal story. I visited a friend in Chicago. We went out to lunch. We had some hot wings. My hands were covered in sauce. Set the phone on the table, and I never saw it again. So I was thankful in that situation. You could nuke the phone, right? With iCloud, you can go iCloud.com, log in, and erase the phone remotely. So,
You could even do it, I believe, through your Zimbra account.
yeah,
now.
and through Zimbra. So, it's really beneficial to have. If you don't have a passcode on your phone, there's really no reason not to. So.
To see.
There we go. Sorry about that. We lost the audio there for a second.
We are going to scroll down to Mail, Contacts, and Calendars.
So settings, then mail, contacts, and calendars, and then what
we
do
are
we hit?
going to create a new account by clicking on Add Account.
Cool.
From this screen, we are going to choose the Exchange option.
And you could use any of these other ones if they have a Gmail or. It's pretty simple to set up, right?
Exactly. If you have an iCloud account, a Google, Yahoo, AOL, Outlook.com, obviously there. If you click on Other, you'll be able to set up an account if your service provider has more custom settings.
Gotcha.
So we're going to click on Exchange. Takes a couple.
You okay?
And this screen is going to come up here. So we are going to click in the email field and basically...
This is where you put in your Colorado Homes email address, correct?
That's correct. So first name dot last name at coloradohomes.com. And what's nice about this is everybody is going to enter this the same way. Of course, you're not going to use my name.
Unless you want to respond to Paul's email, right?
That's correct.
You'd probably welcome that.
Hey, some days that would be awesome. So we're going to punch in our password. Down here in the description,
What's your password, Paul?
I tell you, but we'd have to kill you. So down here, we can put anything in the description, Coldwell Banker, CB.
And that's a good note because you want to label that because when you'll see later why, correct? I mean,
Exactly. So I'm going to put in Realogy because that is the parent company that I work for. We're going to go up to the top right. We're going to click on Next.
Hey, look at that.
3
it worked
check
the first
marks.
time. Wow.
Hey, things are good.
Hey, I'll pat myself on the back.
If it did not work out, which I could have probably shown you, you'll get an error message that it could not set up the account.
Couldn't verify your information.
Verify the account
right.
information.
And what's usually the problem there?
Incorrect password.
Yeah.
Usually they type in their usernames correctly. It's
right.
usually a password issue, and then again, you can just backtrack. Contact the help desk.
Right.
877-678-4357.
There you go.
And they will help you reset your password.
I gotcha.
Now, in this following screen, you have 4 options: mail, contacts, calendars, reminders. I link and utilize all 4 features, so I'm going to go ahead and leave them on. If you're an agent and you have different email accounts set up on your phone, you don't want reminders to be set up through your Colorado Homes account, you can just turn that off. That's just personal preference.
And some people have multiple calendars and maybe they don't want to see.
It's too cumbersome.
Right. If you don't use the Colorado Homes calendar, I would probably turn that off there.
Exactly. And for those of you who use Gmail, you guys are, I believe, at times pretty content with using your Gmail calendar.
Right.
No sense creating another calendar. What we have found here and there is, after you do this initial setup,
right,
you'll have additional options as far as which account you can set up as your default for calendar items, so on and so forth. If you don't choose to use your Colorado Homes account for calendars, go ahead and turn that off as well.
Gotcha.
So after this step, we're going to go ahead and click on Save.
Mm-hmm.
It will add the account.
Okay.
And now in the list, you will see Realogy.
Mm-hmm.
So we will go back out and go into Mail. I hope I don't have any bad email here. So now, obviously, I have quite a few email accounts, so you will see Realogy clearly identifying which email account I just set up.
Yeah, I see it right. I see it right there, yeah.
And basically, you're going to go in.
Wait, what did that say? She can't hear Jesus? I don't think I'm qualified to help with that. Yeah, we had a slight audio glitch. My apologies to Jesus. We everything worked on our end, but we could hear him just fine. So just know that he said welcome, and he was glad that you were all here today.
Sorry, Jesus.
Yeah, sorry about that, buddy.
Learning curve.
Right.
Test it 15 minutes prior next time.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically here you have all of your email accounts.
Okay.
I could go into a little tutorial about email, but I don't think that's the purpose today.
Sure, no.
For those of you who may want to use it, aren't as familiar with it, just one quick tip.
Yeah.
If you click at the top on any one of your mailboxes, so Realogy, it will take you straight to your inbox. For those of you who create subfolders within your mail, and the reason I bring this up is because people really don't know about this. If you click Realogy down at the bottom, it will show you a full list of all of those subfolders beneath your inbox that you have created over time.
Where do you put all the junk ones? Oh.
Cannot disclose.
Right. Well, no, that's really good information. Thank you. And so, one thing to point out is I think before you can even get to this point, though, on a new phone setup, yours was set up before. We took it off for the purposes of this video, right?
Correct.
So what would come up before?
So basically, after you create the account and that is complete, as soon as you click on your home button, round button at the bottom, you will immediately get prompted with a window that says that this phone requires an 8-digit passlock code.
Right.
It gives you an option to continue and takes you right into that. It will ask you for your existing code if you have one.
Right.
Key that in and then punch in a new code twice. And if you keyed it in correctly and accurately, it will automatically take. and you'll start hearing your phone dinging that incoming mail is on its way.
Right, right. And if you have 15 or so thousand emails in there, it might take a few, right?
Give it a bit.
Cool. Well, anything else? Any other tips and tips and tricks and stuff that maybe they can add to for the iPhone? Now, what if I wanted to set this up on an iPad?
The iPad is the identical same routine.
Really? Okay, cool.
Yes.
And what about for all those dirty Android users out there, right, Shane? No, we're kidding. We love you all the same. Now, on Android, there's different. The reason we chose iPhone today was because it's standardized, right? There's no. It's one and done. There's no different flavor of Apple. You know, it's all the same, right?
Correct.
It's pretty ubiquitous, to use a $2 word. For Android, you have every manufacturer has what their
own OS,
right.
Their own settings, and therefore, working with an Android product,
Yeah.
it's more of a things have changed as far as the fields that for usernames that
Right.
need to be entered,
Right.
so on and so forth, accepting different security settings.
Mhm.
So, in general,
Yeah.
the Android is not terrible,
I
but
gotcha.
there are so many more options out there
Well, sure.
that sometimes it's necessary to walk you through it over the phone
Right.
or actually meet with you in person.
I got you. And so with the Zimbra, open a ticket. We'll be more than happy to help you if you can't figure it out on your own. It's not overly complicated, right? You just have to follow the same basic steps, right?
Exactly.
It's you choose exchange mail, I think, or it calls it work email. What is it called on an Android?
Shane, do you have an answer to that?
What is it when you're in settings in Android? What is it called? The exchange mail now? Okay.
Or it might be
Work
sync.
corporate sync, right?
Right.
That's the one I was looking for. Sometimes you just kind of have to play with the settings if you're feeling so inclined. If you want to be hands off, that's why we're here. Call in a ticket. And we will be there to assist you. So, well, thanks, Paul. I really appreciate all the hard work on that, and I think that is pretty concise. Was there any questions out there from the field on? I'm just checking with the guys here in the room. No, everybody's good on iPhone setups and Android, or I mean with Zimbra.
Will be a 30-second. We gotta wait.
Yeah, exactly. We'll give them a few minutes to respond and see if there's any questions out there. Other than that, I can't think of anything else they might run into. If they don't, they just have to know their password. They have to username, obviously, is your email address.
Correct.
And like we said before, iPhone, iPad, same setup process. You don't have to do a thing differently, right? It's
Correct.
the same screens even. So
That's right.
I think what else? Any other mobile devices we're missing? Probably not. I think that's the majority of it, right?
Correct.
So, let's see. Well, I guess they're solid on that. No questions. Okay, well, thanks, man. I appreciate
my
it.
pleasure.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
glad I
Yeah,
could,
that
help
was
out
good.
here today.
Yeah, no, that was really good. Thank you so much.
You bet.
So, next up, what do we have? We've got John Klum's going to come up, and we are going to do a little help. I can't print. It seems to be a common occurrence here, unfortunately, and we apologize for that. But it's our password policy is pretty stringent, and it's not set by us, so we have to play within their sandbox. But we have some tips and tricks here to help you along the way. So. How's it going, man?
All right, man.
Yeah. Oh, your Ethernet cable. We're just needing one quick second to set up here. We don't have the luxury of a commercial break and all that fun stuff, right? Let me get your video up a little bit higher here, and we got to get your desktop hooked up here so we can.
Should be getting it now.
Cool. Let me just move this screen up just a hair. Oops. Right about there. There you go. And let's turn that off and go to Let's see. We're just pulling up. Give us 1 second. We're getting the local desktop. What's your IP address there? Let me get the last four of it. Let me add it.
184.
Yeah, thank you.
How do you find the IP address?
It's on the bottom of the. Oh, always a wise guy around here. I swear. Testing beforehand, and now none of it wants to work on cue, right? That's always the case. So let's.
Should be good there.
Yeah, we should.
Coming
be.
in.
Or you could use Paul. Why don't you use Paul's? That we've got a video on his still. We pull.
Not sure it's all set up, but
Can we borrow your Mac there for a second, Paul?
Yeah, what do you need on it?
We just need to use the desktop. For some reason, this doesn't want to pull over, so I don't want to keep them all waiting. All right, cool. So, do you have?
so do you have a plain agent machine on this, Paul?
Or you could remote desktop with the right here. There we go. Sorry, guys. 1 hot second.
What's the third octet here?
148, I think.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to.
Oh! I see what you're trying to do. No, just do it like you were gonna do on his machine. No.
This is a Mac.
Oh, yeah,
It's a
hold on.
Windows environment.
So let's do this. Sorry, guys.
Let me just restart this real quick.
No problem. Yeah, so if you've got some questions, you watch that water there.
Do you have a plain Jane one?
No.
No.
Not quite yet. Let's see what we got here. Good thing we got all these IT guys here to work this out, right? Yeah. Well. There we go.
Coming up?
We're trying. You know.
Huh. We had it going here.
Yeah, I know. We practiced this yesterday. Worked fine, flawlessly.
Practiced it this morning. It worked.
Yeah, what are you gonna do, right? So let's do this. Let's pull up. You got some questions? What have you got so far? Anything
Yeah.
we can hammer out?
Taking care of one question and I'm helping someone else.
Oh, okay. Great. Well, thank you guys for submitting those questions and keep them coming. Because if we can't answer them today, we will answer them on a future episode if they let us do this again after all these screw ups, right? Well, you still at the same IP address? No. Okay. 1-8. There we go. And
Same. Yeah.
nah. Oh. Doesn't want to pull it up. Jeez.
It was working just this
Yeah,
morning.
I know. Sorry, guys. Bear with us one more second here, and if not, let's talk about some of the things we were going to talk, some of the topics we were going to talk about. So, basically, the issue is they can't print, right? And all hell breaks loose because you're coming in to write a contract and you got nothing, right? So, what would you do?
First thing I would recommend is walking up to an agent resource computer in an office.
Right.
And logging on with your credentials there, the username and password that was given to you or you last used. You can also do it outside of the office by going to email or to the Colorado Homes email website and logging in with your credentials there. It'll basically interact with you, tell you that, hey, your password's expired, and give you the option to reset.
Gotcha.
So you can do it there. If you're trying to do both of those and it's not telling you that your password needs to be changed, it's just telling your password's bad, you're going to need to call the NRT help desk and have them verify what your username is. And at that point, give it a try then. If you still don't know your password, you're still getting the wrong password or username or password, then you can just turn around and tell the help desk person to help you reset your password. They will give you a temporary password, and you'll have to continue logging in, and it'll
on the resource machine.
At the resource machine or at Colorado Homes email, and it'll tell you to change your password.
And typically, what's their username for the resource machine?
The username is going to be if you were prior to October 2015 last year, it's going to typically be your first initial of your first name and the first 6 letters of your last name.
So for you, it would be J. Klum. For me, it would be R. Massafee or something like that. Yeah.
And if after October 2000, I'm sorry, it was 2014, 1 year ago, they changed the standard, and it's your first name dot last name.
Right. So all new agents would be their full first name, period, your full last name.
It'd be like, for me, it would be John.Klum.
Gotcha. So. Okay. And and then when they log into the resource machine, if they're here and they log into one of our resource machines, they'll get a error message saying either
either wrong username or password, which means you don't know either one of those, which will require a call to the help desk.
I gotcha.
If you're being prompted with 3 fields to enter your old password and enter your new one, you've got the right credentials. You just got your password's changed, which is happens every 90 days.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I know a lot of people have trouble or a problem with having to constantly change that password.
Right.
But, it's really for your own protection. Last thing anybody wants to do is get their email hacked and have nasty emails sent out to clients, friends, family.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And who knows? If it's sent to the wrong person, you could be put on the NSA watch list.
Yeah, I don't need any more trouble getting on an airplane. So, well, that's good. That's good. And so, what would they? I thought of something while you were talking, but once
you get that password, that new password established. then you can connect to the wireless network with those same credentials, and then also the printers. But connecting to the wireless and the printer, remember, you will need to put the DEN / and the / is always above the enter key.
Yeah, we could do it that way, Paul. Yeah, here. Let's pull up. Yeah, let's pull up Paul's. Log out of that, Paul, and show me. Let's
trust it.
It's okay. Go ahead and log out of that, Paul. I've got it up on the screen here. I want to show them what we're talking about. So this is your generic agent desktop. If you log into a resource computer. Yeah, you can minimize us in the background there. There you go. And,
Where is it? Right
there you go.
Which one?
Den-NMTR SH3.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I was doing that on my side. You beat me to the punch. So John's just logging in here, and you'll see the
Put in the den domain.
there you go.
You're right. We're in Mac world.
Yeah, we're using all these Macs to run the show, but we're all Windows guys, so we're a little hogtied a bit. There it comes. Okay, so here's standard
here's logging
login.
onto a
and
computer.
here's what it looks like when. Can you make that go full screen for me?
You can.
Huh? Oh, it won't. It won't do it. Oh, sorry guys. That's as big as it gets. Let me see if I can crop it.
So when you log into a resource computer, you'll get this message here: your password must be changed.
Yeah, hopefully you guys are watching this full screen. You can see. Just trust us when we're reading it to you.
And so you click OK. It's already preloaded. Since I had the right username and password, it preloaded my username and password. And then you just type in your new one here.
Oh, okay.
That you want to put, and all it needs to do is change by 1 character.
Okay.
Keep in mind, passwords need to be 8 characters at a minimum.
Do they have to have a number?
Have to have an uppercase letter, lowercase letter, and a number.
Gotcha.
And all you do is, a lot of times people do is just change that number.
Gotcha.
And you have to wait 10 different passwords before you can reuse one.
There we go. Made it a little bit bigger, so hopefully you can see that. So John's going through the process now. So after you call the help desk, they give you a temporary password, right?
Yeah.
Usually like welcome one or something like that if you've ever had to do that before. Then when you get to the back to the resource computer, it's going to ask you to change it, and that's what he's doing right now, is putting in his new password, and presto changeo,
it's changed.
There you go. Your password has been changed. So
now, keep in mind, you change this password. As people say, we're trying to do the best we can to minimize how many different passwords you use for things.
Right.
But this password affects connecting to the office printers.
Right.
Also to the office RE Wi-Fi 3.
Right.
And also to the email system. So if any of your other devices use those passwords to connect,
that's a good point.
Use that.
So
you're going to have to go in and change.
So
like your Colorado Homes.
I'm afraid to show this really old iPhone, but you want to come in and turn off Wi-Fi on your mobile devices, right? Unless hopefully they're all on easy, correct?
Recommend mobile devices since there's no need to print from them.
Right.
You need to. I recommend being on easy Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Because that password's only supposed to change twice a year.
Okay.
And the office will get notified when that changes.
Yeah.
Thankfully it hasn't changed in 9 months.
And then you're not faced with that circumstance where your phone's got the old password. It's trying to log in as you with your old stuff, and it constantly locks your account out. I see that a lot where an agent will recently change their password, and then bam, it's just a perpetual loop of getting locked out.
The system is set so 3 bad password attempts,
3 strikes and you're out.
It locks your account. But good thing is, it only locks it for 15 minutes.
Right.
So you have a choice there: either wait 15 minutes, try again, or you can call the help desk.
And it's helpful to do this while they're on the phone with the help desk, because they'll stay on the phone with them and make sure they're not going to hang up and say, hey, good luck.
Yeah.
Make sure before you hang up with them that your devices are all reconnected. Sometimes try turning on and off the Wi-Fi on your computer. I can show it here on the Mac briefly. It's right up here, so. You would just come up here and minimize some of the stuff I got open right up here, and then you would just tell it to don't save, sorry. Turn Wi-Fi off. It's that easy on a Mac, and on a PC usually there's either a hardware switch or on a newer Windows PC you can swipe over from the right and then pull up the what do they call it? The charm menu.
Charm menu.
Yeah. On a PC and right there in settings you can basically how you would connect to a Wi-Fi access point. There's a place right there to flip it on and off, just like on your cell phone or anything else. So let's pull this back up. And so what else were we going to talk about with the not being able to print? So once they've done all that. Now, what do they have to do on their computer to flush maybe any old saved passwords or something like that?
Connect with if you're running a Windows 7 computer. It's a kind of most of the time the wireless connection will just prompt you to enter
change
the new
it.
password.
I got you. Yeah.
It'll just pop up and down in the system tray by the clock.
Right.
It'll pop up and tell you, that your password's wrong, and you just go in and type in that new password.
Gotcha.
And it should reconnect. If it's not prompting for that, unfortunately, you're probably going to have to meet with a tech, and we're going to have to flush it out of there.
Right.
What's fortunate is Windows 8 or Windows 10. You can go to the wireless network view over there on the side by the system clock, and you can actually right-click on RE Wi-Fi 3 and say forget, and it'll
throw it away.
It'll chuck
basically,
it,
yeah.
and then you go back to it and you click on RE Wi-Fi 3, and it'll be prompting for credentials, and you put in your DEN / username,
right,
and password, and it'll reconnect you up.
Gotcha.
And then with printers, once you're connected to either wired connection or RE Wi-Fi 3,
right.
You just click on the connect to printers on your desktop, and then it'll connect up.
Now,
it'll prompt you for username and password.
I've seen some Mac users ask me a lot, what happens when they get that error message that says hold for authentication? What would they do?
They could probably the best thing to do is in Macs there's what's called a keychain.
Here, let's show them on this desktop right here, or you can drive. How about that?
Yeah. If you click on the spotlight search up in the upper right hand corner, that little magnifying glass thing.
It's Command Spacebar too.
Oh, Command Spacebar.
There you go.
Type in the word keychain, all one, and you'll see a list there, or show up in the list keychain access, and in the Mac you'll go down and what you'll have to do is look for the server for.
Hey, let's look at all Paul's passwords. So
basically,
you know what I tell people to do is I tell them to just, in that search box right at the top. I tell them to put in the branch server name. So like today we're at North Metro, so it's INTR, and so he's never connected here. Try one of like his. There's DTC. So. If you're in the DTC office, this applies to you. But otherwise, you would just put in your respective office here, and you just click on it. And here you can check. You can hit show password, and
you can do one of two things.
Yeah.
You can either do a right click or double two finger click and delete it.
Right.
Or you can just go drill into it. And down here at the bottom, you can enter your new password.
Sure.
So I'm actually going to.
Yeah,
do this.
we'd need Paul's password for that.
Yeah.
But
and then then it'll just reconnect and print your job.
Gotcha. So that's for on a Mac. What about on a PC? And this is if you remember your password, right? So if it's remembered on a PC, it's much the same process, right? Just different.
Yeah, it's called the thing you would go search for is Credential Manager.
Okay.
And in Credential Manager, you would see a.
I was trying to pull up a.
Yeah.
Another Windows. We're light on Windows PCs here. It's a dawn of a new era.
Let's see if we can get something.
Right. Let's see if we can pull. Yeah, I just want to show the. Oh, yeah, you might have to do it as your admin, maybe.
Hey.
Hey, there we are.
Too fast.
There we are in triplicate. Thank you guys for your patience. You're all guinea pigs, and we appreciate that.
Uh-oh. Getting there.
Yeah, it's all good. We're any questions? Anything we're missing on the chat box there, Shane, John?
No? John and I are on it.
Okay, cool. Thank you guys. Yeah, if you're typing questions there on the side of the screen, John Horseman and Shane Tanner are both responding right now, and we'll get your questions answered ASAP. So, yeah, what's up? Relospec?
Software. It came from Relocation One, which I think is a staff person. They're asking, how do I get this to work from home? I don't think that.
Oh yeah, I don't think
that's
would.
Companies consider it protected, and it's
so
it's inside the network.
Yeah.
You'll have to be in the office to work on Realospec.
Yeah, so there was a question from the broadcast chat window about how to get into Realospec, and that's I think that's an internal app, right, for Relo?
Yeah, just for the relocation.
And and unfortunately, I don't think there's any way to hit that remotely. So we're on a Windows PC here. And
we're on a Windows. You hit the start, and down on the search, just type in credential manager.
And you don't even need to know how to spell it because it starts to find it, right?
Finds it right there. So just like Windows Spotlight. And
right.
Under
here, let me turn us off so they can see.
Under this Windows credential, you'll see an entry for the office.
So right there it would say like
would be DEN dash
whatever,
something like that.
Right.
Just look for something like that.
Yeah.
And just
delete it.
Just delete it. If you click on it, there'll be an option to delete.
Oh, it says remove from Vault, I think, right?
Yeah.
So that's how you would do it on a Windows PC. That's if you go to print, you know your password's good, you know you're giving it the right password, but it's still not coming out. Or on a Mac, it's saying hold for authentication. Those are the two ways to clear that up. And this is a topic that we deal with on a really regular basis. So I imagine that we would probably do this topic again in the future.
Yeah,
so if
we get it cleaner.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys if we're going too fast or you missed the first part of it, or you can always rewind this later. This will be saved on the website. But I just want you to know we're going to touch on this again because this is something I think everybody in the company deals with on a daily basis, and it's really a pain in the butt. So the more we can do to try and help this problem,
there are information sheets out there on this subject.
Maybe we can link them.
They always have it. If we link it up.
Yeah, we can link it up for you guys. It'll be underneath after the show's over. But yeah, ask your OA because they're our first line of defense, and we really appreciate all their hard work. It's I don't know what I would do without my OAs. They're a really great team, and they're the first person in the office that knows the answer to your question most of the time. So
these information sheets too are out on CB Agent Info.
Here, I'll pull it up here. So you can pull that up.
So we go out there. Most everybody should be able to know how to get into that.
Right.
I think Horseman already went through that.
Yeah, sort of. We. Oh, you got to go to Gateway first. Oh. Yeah. Since he had to go change it all around.
What's that? Oh.
It looks pretty though. It's really nice now. If you haven't been there recently, it's all updated and really beautiful. John Horseman spent a lot of time on this site, so you guys should check it out. And anything off of Twitter? I'm interested to see if anybody hit us up from there.
And here we have CB Agent Info. And coming through. So ask or find what you want. So just type in.
How did you get to that document? He said just put in. Oh, you got.
Yeah, you just put in printers. Printer connection.
Ah, it's right there.
And it'll.
You see, I didn't even know that was there.
Yeah, you'll get some results here.
Right.
But CBRB printer connection.
Oh, cool.
And right here's our document.
And there's a PDF about it. Very cool.
Oh, this computer hasn't opened. So here's talking about connecting the printers.
Ah, right.
You know, there's also documents in here about connecting to RE Wi-Fi 3. Now,
okay.
Keep in mind when you're printing, you got to, like we said before, you got to be either on RE Wi-Fi 3 or wired into the office.
And that's a really good point because we had a little bit of difficulty with the wireless last week. The first time in 10 years that we've had an outage that long. I mean, it was
a tough one, but
pretty unique circumstance. But
things are functioning a lot better. We've done a lot of upgrading on the office wireless
and that's why it went down, right? We have new access points that are faster. They have stronger connection. They're going to reach more places. They're AC capable for you geeks out there. So that's kind of why it happened. But again, we apologize for that. But the reason I'm saying that is a lot of agents, I think, flipped to the easy Wi-Fi in the interim because that was working, right?
Yeah.
And if they're on easy Wi-Fi, you can't print, right? So bar none, know that if you are connected to easy Wi-Fi, you are not printing anything in the office.
But the upgrading they've done, is resolved some issues people were having wireless, connecting wireless to even easy Wi-Fi and RE Wi-Fi 3.
I got you.
Agents that I know that were having difficulties, they haven't seen the difficulty ever since the system upgrade. So, so the information sheets for accessing RE Wi-Fi 3 are both. There's a Windows 7 version and a Windows 8. Windows 10 is going to be pretty close to Windows 8.
Okay.
Probably have to get in and modify that a little, but
sure.
So, and you just open it and it'll provide you what you need. And there's even comments referencing, like we talked about, if you don't know your credentials.
Okay. So. And John Horstman was saying, you can also find that help document we were talking about before. Is that let's test him on it. You feel comfortable with that, John? Yeah.
All
right. Right. Just put the word help. He says. Help. Let's see what we get. And
help support.
No, just hit enter. Just put help and enter.
Enter. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Wow. Kudos, buddy. Yeah, looking good. Yeah, we're bringing this place into the 21st century today. Yeah,
So here, just click on the link and
it
brings
look at that! It goes right to the page we were looking at.
There, gives you a good reference to.
So if you're playing the home game, please feel free to follow along. Go to CBAI. That's our short code for CB Agent Info. Through the NRT gateway first, obviously, and just type in help. And it's right there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm really glad. This is a great resource, I think, for agents, staff, everybody. Just full transparency and knowing who to call and when to call and what numbers to dial. It's all right there for you. So cool. I think that pretty well covers it. I know that like we said again, a disclaimer on that. We will touch on this again, right?
Yep.
I mean,
we'll bring it back.
This is something we all deal with on a daily basis. So we want you guys to be able to print in the office. We want you to have a seamless experience, but we know what kind of a challenge what happens when your password changes. It's a house of cards and it falls in on itself sometimes.
Yeah.
So we will revisit this in a future episode. And so feel free to send us in some questions or comments on anything we might have missed or what you might want to see. Paul's standing here. What's up, man?
You guys mentioned how people panic when their password doesn't work and they automatically go to easy Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Paul was just saying that if you're in a panic and you jump on easy Wi-Fi, just know that'll get you online, but you're not going to print, right? So a lot of people will do that as a quick fix because the password's real easy to get onto, and if you don't know it, you ask your OA. They all have a copy of it, and they jump on there, and then it's like, oh, well, why can't I print? Well, because you can't print on easy Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
right? So, if all else fails, you could always hardwire, right? I mean, if your computer has an Ethernet jack, we should say that now, right? Because a lot of computers now don't even come with these silly Ethernet cords. I've got a bunch floating around back here. I don't know. Obviously, most of you know what they look like, but plug it into the wall. It's the one next to the phone line, right? It's typically blue in color.
And recommend people carrying it wherever
Yeah,
they have their laptop.
Right, I keep one in my bag.
You know what? You never know where you're at.
Yeah, you go to a hotel and you can plug in sometimes, and that's free, and you don't have to pay for it. So cool. Well, thank you, John. I appreciate all the hard work. I'm sorry for all the hiccups. And
sorry about that.
No, they have to understand this is it's our virgin voyage. So if it all went smoothly the first time, we'd all be heroes. So all right, cool. So yeah, exactly.
Right,
cool. So next up, we're going to bring up Shane Tanner is going to talk a little bit about email signatures, and that's another thing I think a lot of people wanted to know about. How do I get that really pretty? I wish I could spin this camera around and point it towards John's head. What's up, man?
There's also the video.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, and we'll touch on it. In fact, we have it here, and I'm going to show it. I was just saying that John Horstman goes through all this trouble to make people these really beautiful email signatures, and if you don't have one, he's the person to call, or email probably be easier because you got to send him your stuff anyways. But they look great, but how do we get them into our signature? So we have Shane here. Let me get this one off. Hey, what's up, man?
Thanks for having me on the show.
Good to see you, buddy. So we're going to run them through what now? What email providers? We're gonna go through Zimbra, obviously, right?
Zimbra, the Zimbra web client.
Okay.
Outlook version 2010, I believe.
Okay.
And also the Zimbra desktop client, which is rarely used, but we figured we'd add it for you folks anyways.
Right. Let me bump us up and turn on our pretty.
Put that video.
Yep. Let's get.
Thanks to Horseman for making this video. And we'll give you the link to the video so that you can look at it.
Yeah, it's on YouTube, right?
Yes.
I think that's where we found it. I didn't even know it was there. This has been a good experience because we found out things that John put in a lot of time on this. I'm sure, right? Yes. How much time did you tell Todd you spent on it? Yeah, 2 to 5 weeks, right? All right, so let's take a look at it. And again, these links will all be below. And if we have some astute chatters there, they could drop the link in the chat box. John, hint, hint. But we'll pull it up here, and so there it is. Look at that. Look at those graphics. I know.
Nice. And their sound with it too.
You're out kicking your coverage, buddy. You know that?
And again, if this goes too fast, don't worry. We'll give you the link. You can look at it on your own time and pause and fast forward whatever you need.
Right. Let's move us back down a little bit. Get us out of the way. So basically, right now they're setting it up in Outlook. Now this would probably be more for staff.
Staff and our agents that do use Outlook. I know in my offices I do have a few agents that use Outlook and have requested something like this, so that's why we added this.
So right now he's in Outlook. He went to settings, file, options, and it's under mail and then mail signatures. They bury it pretty well in Outlook. And here you can see this is the basically he's creating a new signature. And he's going to go to the link that he sends you, right? He emails you a link that's hosted on our servers, and we'll see him pull that up here in a second.
Yes, your actual signature block that
there he is.
Horseman creates for you, he does send you a direct link to your specific signature block.
Cool.
And if you do have a question or need to get that from him, just shoot him an email.
Oh, is there? He's got all that pretty music in the background. Let me turn that off. It's happy music. No, it is really nice.
Look, yeah. My shirt is teleporting.
Yeah, you're doing the Marty McFly, buddy. Yeah. Sorry about that.
I'm out of phase.
Yeah, you're. Let me turn that off there. Now we should have no audio.
The Zimbra web client is what many agents use if they don't forward.
Yeah, so
that's probably the most important piece.
Yeah, getting into it, and you can get into it easily now through the gateway. Yeah, if you, that's going bananas.
Yeah, single sign on with the gateway.
Let me see if I can fix you up there. Sorry, man.
Yeah, it's cool.
The floating heads. So we're in NRT. We're into Zimbra now.
Yes.
We go to preferences. You click on signatures, obviously, and then you grab a new one. You want to format it as HTML, as John's got there, and
that's an important step.
Right, because otherwise it will
links or anything won't work.
Right, right. Make sure he spells everything correct. So then again, it's the same process. You just have to drag and drop, right? Or you just click on the insert picture icon, I believe, right? And there's the photo that you will have a link to it with your pretty face in there. And if you don't have one of those great looking pictures, who took that picture, John? Was that Rick? That's a selfie. Oh, yeah, right. I don't buy that for a minute. That's
and then one thing.
Yeah.
He's going to get to it here in a second, but you have the option to put your signature on all emails, or you can put your signature on just replies.
So you can have different ones for.
Correct.
I see. For
and you'll see that setting here in his video.
I gotcha. Cool. And then Zimbra Desktop. So let's talk about that a little bit while this loads up. This is a resource that if you don't have Outlook or you don't want to pay for it, because it's like $230, right?
Correct.
If you pay for it outright and don't do Microsoft 365 and all that, you can use Zimbra Desktop, and it's like it's a desktop client. It won't log you out every 15 minutes, right? So that's the big draw for a lot of people. But this is how you would set it up in that Zimbra Desktop client. And again, a link for that we'll put down below. But you can get it right if you Google Zimbra Desktop client. You go right to their website, right? You grab
and we can provide you with the link to that as well.
Mm-hmm. So it's basically the same scenario, and again, like with any email provider, if you get to settings and you get into signatures, this is essentially all you have to do, because all that is a picture, right?
Yes.
And you just have to insert the picture in there. So that's it on Zimbra Desktop. And when you go to create a new message now, you'll see that it doesn't work. No, there it is. I didn't give enough credit.
All right, now Gmail.
This is
a lot of agents.
A lot of people use Gmail. Yeah. This is one. I use it personally, and it's really, really easy. But if something here is not, if it's going too fast or it's difficult to follow us because we're talking a mile a minute because we're all excited to be here, open a ticket. We'll gladly help you do this. This is a 5-minute fix for us, and we'd be happy to help. So again, go into settings. Go scroll down. It's on the General tab in Gmail, and then right there is signature. Insert an image. And now it's just going to ask you where to grab it from, and you can give it the address that John sends you, right? Yeah, what's up, Paul?
So we have a question.
Okay.
So
question from the field?
Not all users
Yeah.
use HTML formatting.
Okay.
So in that case, they will not receive the graphic image.
Right.
So if you're concerned about people seeing the
Yeah.
information, make sure you type it in text.
Yeah, that's a good point. And so what Paul was saying is there was a question out there that said, or comment that not everybody uses HTML, and that's the video. That was awesome. Thank you,
Thanks,
John, for making that. Again, there'll be a link for that on the bottom as soon as we're done. Oh boy, it's really got you now. Let me put this up. Maybe it'll help. Yeah, not so much. But so the question was about non-HTML email. Yes, it won't work. It won't look as pretty, right? So, but there are some benefits too, and I've talked to agents about that. If you put put the picture in, you can't click it and call somebody, right? But if you fill it all out with text, like your phone number, your address, your email address, your website, all that stuff is, when you pull it up on your Zach Morris phone here, you can click on it, right? So all that stuff is clickable. So, that would be my personal caveat about doing this. Some people are like, oh, it looks great. It's really good branding. Maybe do a mix of both. Put the numbers below so that mobile users can still click on the information and have it readily available. It's just something to keep in mind because we live in this world now that everybody's got their nose in their phone, and if it doesn't work, we want them to be able to call you as easily as possible, right?
Yes. And I do have another tip for your signature. Since email is on a public system, it's important that if you have any links in your signature, it's important that you make sure that those links work correctly and they take you to the correct page. Many times, spam services will block emails if you have a broken link or something is corrupt in your signature. So usually simple is better when it comes to signatures. So just keep that in mind. If you have links and other things in your signature, just make sure that all those links work and they go to the correct website, and you shouldn't have any problems with spam servers either on our end or on your receiver's end.
Cool, thank you. So there was a question about setting it up in Outlook. So I'm in Outlook 2013 because that's just what I have available to me right here. So let me pull it up and go from the beginning. It's File, then Options, and then you scroll right here to Mail. And on your right-hand side, there's Signatures. And here's where you can go ahead and create whatever you want. Basically, you want to make a new signature. Call it whatever you want to call it. If it's got a fancy name, I've seen some people have them customized for different people and different replies and canned messages. You can really get pretty deep with these things.
Yes.
So I'm just going to call it signature. And right here, all we have to do is link the image or drop it in. So I don't have one of those fancy pictures from you, John, but that's okay. We can just pull one up. Let me grab something out of. I'll just show you what you would do. So you could either grab it. I personally recommend they grab it from their save the picture he sends them to their computer, and then go from your computer, grab wherever you saved it. So I'm going to go to, I'm just going to grab a photo, any old photo here will work. Let's do.
And saving things to your desktop may be the easiest place to find it once you've downloaded it.
But if they delete it from there,
yes.
just know it has to stay there forever.
Right.
So don't put it somewhere where you would want to have it.
Where you want to keep it safe.
Yeah, for forever. So I don't see what I was looking for. There was a. So at any rate, this is where you would pull it up, and I think I had a picture here. We can just put in any old picture. It doesn't really matter. Oh, I did it wrong. That's where we don't want to link to it. We want to drop it in. So pull up I did that by hitting Windows key and E on the keyboard as in Edward, and then just go to pull up any photo and drop it in. So I'm just going to drop it in here. Ryan.
And of course, we're happy to work with anyone that needs help with their signature.
Absolutely.
I know that in the webcast things go kind of fast.
Yeah,
but,
we're going a mile a minute here to show you these things quick, fast, and in a hurry. But it didn't. It still doesn't want to do it for me. The tech is not working for us today, as it should be.
We have gremlins running around in the studio.
See, it's not just you guys. It happens to the best of us. But that's the where you go. At this point, this is all you need to do is drop in the photos there. You can type all your text below about your name and your phone numbers, all that stuff. If you want to add that to his graphics, this is where you would do it. And again, this is another thing, like the not being able to print. We hit this quite a bit. Do you? I see it a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. You've taught a class on this, right?
Yes.
So,
I do give workshops on this. So
yeah.
if that's something you'd like to see in your office, please let me know.
And tell your manager we want Shane to come give his email signature class.
Well, I probably should say that my offices are Colorado Springs, Parker, and Denver Central.
Right. There you go. Cool. Well, that's about all I had for it. If there's more questions from the field, what are you guys seeing? Any
questions?
New and exciting out there? Nothing. Good. Okay, cool. Well, then we're doing our job.
Right.
Or they're not listening. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. That was really fun. So now, let's see. What are we going to pull up? The phone calls. Do we have anybody called in? Or? Oh, okay. It was on. John had it on his laptop. We're going to take a look and see if we had any callers. Okay, that's fine. Well, we're a little bit ahead of schedule, so I'll be happy to take any questions from the field. Fire away. Give me your hardest or most challenging thing. I think we covered in general. We covered most of the big issues today. In future shows we'll kind of compile a list of what we've heard feedback wise. Please email us. It's let me pull that up. It's denverit at coloradohomes.com and let us know what if there was something we missed or something you would have rather seen or one of those, because Lord knows we can't hit it all, and it's tough to make sure we cover it all. But that's why we're doing it, and hopefully, we'll have more episodes, and we can cover all the topics you guys want. A lot to digest, so I think we'll probably take this opportunity to thank you guys. I want to thank all the presenters today: John Horseman, John Klum, Shane Tanner, Paul Wolochow, and my name's Ryan Massfeller. Again, it was a pleasure bringing you guys this. Thank you for sticking through all the bumps and hiccups. If you have questions or comments, please let us know. Given all the numbers we've been scrolling, or in the text box or email, or any of those methods will work to get us information. We're open to tickets. 877-NRT-HELP. If you saw something today you want some help with, let us know, because that's what keeps us employed here, and we're happy to be here and we're happy to help. So, so thank you guys again. Really appreciate it. And that'll be all for us today. Thank you so much. I hope to see you again soon.